Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today is episode 23 of your Quebec Nordiques franchise mode. As in today's episode, we are going through a very critical offseason. As in the last episode, we missed out on a very big free agent acquisition, and that was in Ivan Provorov, which he decided he wanted to ship his ass all the way to Vancouver and not come to Quebec. This guy would have been a game changer. He would have been a perfect guy alongside of Andrei Univalov, would have been a perfect power play guy for the team. He would have been a catalyst for basically everything for the Quebec Nordiques, and we gave him $10.3 million, but he decided to head his way over to Vancouver for $10.5 million. So that was the big saddest point of our free agency, and of course there's nobody left in free agency, so we're basically stuck with this. But I was not settled with that during when I ended. Oh my god, I cannot speak apparently today. When I ended the episode, I decided to do some pre-scouting. As you guys see, our offensive core is absolutely deadly. We picked up Mason Appleton, which is hopefully going to be a great forward for that third line. But I did some pre-scouting, some big time pre-scouting to see what we could do, see who we could pick up to kind of bring into the Quebec Nordiques and what type of move we could do to make this team better. And I think I found the correct team and the team that can help us change everything. And that was the Dallas Stars. Now, as you guys can see, they're a rebuilder, and I mean, we have some really nice young pieces to our team, and I think we could definitely make a deadly ass move with the Dallas Stars. Now, when I did do this deal, I was not looking at John Klingberg. Klingberg would be a nice fit to the team, but $10 million for 4 years, and he's 31 years old already. He'd be a perfect defenseman for the next couple seasons, but then we're going to have the same thing. We're going to have a declining defenseman, and we're not going to have a career defenseman that can play alongside a Univalov for multiple years, which is what we want. So I was looking at Miro Heiskanen and Julius Honka. Two defensemen that could be the first pairing, Miro Heiskanen alongside of Andrei Univalov, a guy that could put up points and could be our power play specialist in Miro Heiskanen. And same with Julius Honka. This guy could be a perfect guy alongside of Hagen Fleury, could be a power play guy for the team, could be a deadly force for our defense core, and they're not that bad defensively. Miro Heiskanen is very good defensively. So we're looking at a team that we can make a pretty good goddamn deal with. So, the people that I am willing to trade back is Marko Huntinainen. I know, Huntinainen, what a great defenseman this guy's been for us. He's been a stellar defenseman for the Quebec Nordiques. 1 year left and then he has to be paid. But I mean, he's not going to have to be paid that much. Like, honestly, he's going to be very cheap. And Miro Heiskanen is going to cost more because he's more. He's going to be coming off of his kind of like his first contract. And he's going to be coming towards more of a richer contract. So we're going to have to deal with that. So we're going to be sending John Miro as they want Miro on the team. We will also be sending them a nice rookie as well. I was thinking a Hunter. We'll send Hunter to them. And then I was also, no, I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking Telepoulos. And then I was going to take Hunter off and send them a first round draft pick. Now, also, what I was looking at was some veteran players. And I was taking a look at fucking Jamie Benn, Kevin Labanc, and Radulov here. I mean, Jamie Benn, 3 more years though. Kevin Labanc, 4 more years. How much for Radulov? 1 more year for Alexander Radulov. But I mean, you take a look at that defensive stats, it's a meh. He would be lethal. Honestly, Radulov would be a lethal player to kind of throw in the roster. But I feel like the team is already content with what we have. I don't want to do too many moves to kind of upset this team's chemistry that we got going already. But this trade, I feel like, is a need for the Quebec Nordiques. Is something that's going to help us out. And going to help us out defensively. Like, this is a big deal for us. Marko Huntinainen is a right-handed guy. He's not performing to what we thought he was going to perform. The past 2 years, he hasn't been a big point producer for us. So I felt the need that we need to kind of change things up a little bit. And with Miro Heiskanen, he can fit in the top 4 pairings, and Julius Honka can fit up on the top pairing. So we know these two guys can fit on our roster, and they'll be perfect pickups for the Quebec Nordiques as that deal does not go through. So we'll take off the third. Will that go through? To sweeten it a touch, we'll take off the fourth. Will that go through? No, it does not. We'll take off the fifth. Will that go through? Yes, it does. Welcome Miro Heiskanen and Julius Honka to the Quebec Nordiques as we just made one of the biggest trades in franchise history as This is the way that the roster's looking right now. We got Larkin, Hall, Dansk, Dvorak, Dubé, Perfetta, Appleton, Yamamoto, Kapanen, Lowry, Petrov, if he's ready. We got to find some more depth for the team. Defensively, we got Univolov, Huskinainen, Fleury, Honka, and McDonough. We need a top 6 defenseman to play alongside of McDonough, and then Binnington and a top 6 defenseman to fill into the team as well. So, Quebec, man, we just made one of the biggest deals in franchise history. I mean, that's without a doubt. Dylan Larkin deal was a pretty big one as well. Like that Dylan Larkin move, that was huge, but that changed it a lot. Now for that third line, I was really thinking that we could really bolster it up. Like we could definitely bolster that third line up. We have the money this year to like go out there and get somebody big. Right, you get somebody big for that offensive core because you already have a stacked up defensive core, right? You got Univolov, Huskinainen, Fleury, Honka, McDonough. McDonough, our captain, is going to be playing on either the top 4 or he's going to play on that the 6th, on the bottom line. So let's see what we can get for a big kind of what do we need? Kapanen. I feel like Kapanen could go down with Lowry. And Yamamoto and Appleton could play together. We could use a goal scorer for that line. And I could already see that one-man Phil, the fucking thrill. Not very good defensively, which is definitely a decrease on the team. But since we just picked up Dvorak and Dubé and Appleton and stuff like that, I feel like we could definitely use somebody like a Phil Kessel that could step up during playoff time. And we know he can. I mean, look at the stats that he's done with Arizona, right? Like, he's had some big playoff years. And he has that Stanley Cup experience, right? Like, bringing him into Quebec, I feel like would definitely be a big piece for the team. So let's pop up that wheel decide that we got going. And let's see what type of contract. I mean, it doesn't matter even if we get Phil Kessel here. I mean, we're going to have to pay him a good buck and sign him up for a little bit, but I really don't care what we have to pay him. So nothing. We don't have to give him a no trade clause, nothing. So we're good on that. So $6.275 million for Phil. The thrill is hopefully he will join the team, kind of give us another component to the Quebec Nordiques and give us a little bit more depth. We'll come and take a look at defensemen right after we get Phil Kessel on the team. And it's a good thing that we only signed, we got Linus Ullmark as well, so that's nice. We got him. Ryan Ellis, 2 years left, but I do not want to do another trade here for my defensive core. I think I'm fine with Julius Honka and stuff like that. I think we look pretty solid otherwise. I don't think we really need any. I'll take a couple picks, sure. 4th and the 5th, sure, I'll take that. Phil Kessel. He is signed with the Quebec Nordiques. He thinks that this team could definitely be a Stanley Cup-driven team. So we get Phil Kessel. We have a backup goaltender in Linus Ullmark. Now all we need is a top 6 defenseman to play alongside of a Ryan McDonough. So somebody just to be a nice defensive defenseman, shutdown guy for the team. Adam Pelch, defensive defenseman, left-handed. Can we get a right-handed guy? Is there any right-handed guys out here? No. There's Joel Pearson. But, I mean, he's offensive defenseman, so we really don't need him. So we're going to go after Adam Pelch. I think he fits on all pairings, so 2 years at that contract. I'll do 1 year. 1 year at that contract there. We'll get Adam Pelch on the team. So Phil Kessel, we really don't have to worry about. So if anything does badly happen, we can get rid of Phil Kessel, which is nice. But this Quebec Nordiques team, man, I am extremely excited for what this team can bring. Also, I would like to fire one of the coaching staff. We need to fix this up. This Quavapil, everyone's kind of hating on him, I think. The only good player that they like is, but both the head coach and himself both really don't like Quavapil. So we're going to get rid of him, and then that should boost up a little bit of the coach chemistry. Not for Jan Panik, but we'll get a nice, another good goalie coach to kind of bring into the team. Not Quavapil. And we also need to sign some people for the AHL as well, so we'll get working on that for the team, and get all these little coaches signed for the team. And I'm really excited for this year, man. We are looking as deadly as ever. We got Miro Huskinainen going this year. Fuck, I'm excited. I think this has been one of the most built teams that we have ever had in franchise mode history. I mean, you had a good team there in Chicago, but like, I don't think we ever were able to build it to the power that we got with this team, because of the fact that we weren't so cap-strapped, and we are about to be a hell of a lot more cap-strapped once we get Calle Dansk and shit like that on the team and stuff. But I mean, after that, I don't think we're going to have to deal with it too much. That's a big thing next year. Miro Haskinen has to be signed. Kali Dansk has to be signed. Like, some big players have to be given some big contracts. So it's going to be a lot of playing with some money, right? Like, Dylan Dubé was cheap, but now he wants more money, right? Like, you're going to have to deal with a lot of big contracts next year. And I think this year has to be the year where we pull away with that cup. There's without a doubt that we need to win the cup this year before it kind of hits the fan. Like, somebody like Kayla Yamamoto, we're probably going to have to get rid of him next year before trade deadline or before the draft day becomes around, because he's going to be fucking expensive as shit just to keep on the damn team. So we're really going to have to figure out what we want to do with the Quebec Nordiques and what we really need to do, because there's going to be some big changes that we're going to have to make. And I think we have to win this cup this year. The cup is got to be a thing that we got to target for. What we built for this year is for that Stanley Cup. So we are going to be really pushing hard for it this year, and hopefully we can reach that position and hopefully get it this year, and hopefully bring it in for the team, because this team would love it. I think Quebec fans have been waiting a long fucking time to see their team come back in, and they've been able to. They've been able to see their team come right back in, and almost see their team win a cup when Nate McKinnon buried us. I mean, that was just devastating. I think that was one of the most devastating moments in franchise history. Like, in any franchise, I think the biggest turning point for the Chicago Blackhawks was the moment where we got our asses beat by the San Jose Sharks. And I think the biggest moment for this team was when we got beat by Nate McKinnon. And I think we got to turn it around this year, and we got to really play our best fucking hockey this year and really come out of it. We're going to sign some big depth players for the team this year, so when we do come into the playoffs and stuff like that, we have some depth players. Jace Howerluck, baby. He was a Florida Panthers legend. And then also Nick Merkley, who got the game-winning goal in the Chicago Blackhawks franchise mode series. Another legend there. Got to always pick up those legends no matter what. They're just, without a doubt, just always going to be nice, deep pieces to the team. Always going to be part of your cup-winning teams. But I'm really hoping we could get like a dynasty going. I think this is the one team that we could, and the Detroit Red Wings, can't forget about that team. The Detroit Red Wings and this team, I think we could definitely build a dynasty out of it this year, and hopefully we can. I would love to see a couple Stanley Cups walking in and out of this team. Right? I mean, this is definitely a team that is looking very devastating this year, and I feel like we could do a lot of good. Nick Merkley, I didn't think signed with us. I think he went to Pittsburgh, which, I mean, smart decision by him to play maybe alongside of a guy like Sid the Kid. I mean, that's a perfect chance for you. So we're getting a lot of deals. So we're just gonna decline at this fucking block, because I'm not doing any trades. Like, that's just without a doubt. I don't care if you guys come after my young guys, but I'd rather keep most of them. Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me, what? But we haven't been doing too bad. I think we just gotta to continue that momentum coming for the Quebec Nordiques right now. And I think we have a fully prepared team. We have a lot of veteran presence coming into this year's team, with Dvorak and Kessel joining the team, Haskinen and Honka. We did a shit ton of changes after being beat by the Toronto Maple Leafs. I mean, that's the way I looked at it. I mean, you lose to the Toronto Maple Leafs like that, there's gonna have to be some culture changes coming to the Nordiques. So let's see, Solorkin Hall, and then McDonough, probably his last year as the captain for the Quebec Nordiques. It's you gotta think it's gonna be his last year. There's without a doubt it's gonna be his last year as captain. I've been loving him. Every single moment that we've had him on the team. I've been loving it. But let's take a look at the entire team now. We're actually not looking too bad. Depth wise, we do need to sign a little bit more extra players for the team. Univalov, Haskinen, Fleury, McDonough, Pelch. We can send down one of the defensemen in Graves. We're good defensively. We do not need to sign any more defense. And then Benetton and Linus Ullmark for the goaltending. So we're looking like a very, very strong team right now. My lordy. Okay, so let's figure out the lineup. So the way that I kind of want the lineups this year was going to be a little bit different than what we've done in the past years. How well does Christian Dvorak do up on that first line? Not too bad, but I know Perfetta really excels up on that first line, right? That makes it like a really, oh, fuck yeah, let's do that. So Hall there, and then I want Dubé. Dubé really does not work there. How well does Dubé work up on the first line? Dubé doesn't do bad too up on the first line. The problem about Dvorak is that we're locked up on a full-blown no-movement clause with him. So we're going to have to play him. Now, man, these lineups are going to be a little bit difficult to kind of play around because you're going to really have to find that perfect line that you want. Because you don't want to go with that, and you really don't want to go with that and not get very much pluses out of it. But I think that's just the way that we're going to have to go. Dvorak, Larkin, Dansk. That's going to be our first line. Because the way that Dvorak plays defensively, I think that's going to be a nice boost there. The second line is going to be Hall, Profeta, Dubé. I like that. Dubé's a great defensive guy, and I think he's going to be a perfect player for the team. And then Yamamoto, Appleton, Kessel, not bad. And then Dickinson, Lowry, and Cap, not looking too bad defensively. You got Huskinainen. How well does Honka? Okay, he doesn't do too well of a boost, but anyways, Huskinainen, Univolov, Honka, Fleury, McDonough, and Pelch. Perfect way that I'm loving this team right now. Huskinainen needs to play up on the top. Hall, one-time position. Dance there. Larkin, Hall, Huskinainen, Profeta, Yamamoto, Dubé, Dvorak. Kessel could play on the 1T. And then Fleury. I want Honka because Honka is going to do better offensively there, I feel. And then Honka could play there. Larkin, Dance, Hall, Huskinainen, Profeta, Yamamoto, Kessel. I feel like Dvorak could be better there because I know Dvorak is going to be able to rip the post up for us. So Dvorak there. We almost even need Dvorak, but Dvorak adds so much extra depth to the team. It's ridiculous. Like, this team is so deep this year. Like, guys, like, you talk about a dynasty team. Your Nordiques is that team. Like, Dvorak was a guy that we never really need to pick up, but when we did, like, I don't regret the move. I really don't regret picking up Dvorak because he really kind of, I think he pushes us that next step, even though we do have to pay him on that full-blown no-movement clause, and that we have to deal with that. I mean, I'll deal with it. I will deal with that type of player's contract, and we'll work around it and stuff like that. But we do got to get a bunch of depth players before we start off the year for the forward core, and then we can get the season started for the Quebec Nordiques and get the simulation started. Get a couple of months in. We'll probably get up to the end of January. Either that or we'll do the first 2 months and then we'll take kind of an overview of the team and stuff like that. But let's get all the prospects in and stuff like that. Man, I am so fucking excited about this year's team. We're looking so fucking good. And there's so many new players like Dvorak. You got a whole new second line. Yamamoto for some reason dropped. I don't know why he dropped. He had a great season last year too. Just had no reason for him to drop. I don't know why. It sucks, but it is what it is. Maybe hopefully he can still keep that pace up. I mean, that third line's looking deadly as ever. That new third line down there. I'm hoping they can rip that line post up, right? And I mean, that's going to be an unexpected third line. They're not the most defensive line in the world, but I mean, they're going to be offensive. I mean, every other line's big defensively, but for that third line, and I'm hoping that third line could excel offensive-wise and be something that we really enjoy watching on a daily basis, which is what we built that line for, is to be a big line for us. So let's get all the depth players in there, Hunter and stuff like that. We need to get in and play him. We can play him also alongside a Gunler, and then defensively we get Vyzhnovsky, one of the brothers of Vyzhnovsky, who we traded for to Detroit. Let's go check out how he's doing in Detroit there, and see how Detroit's looking there. Because we did trade him to a divisional rival team, so we do got to keep a tabs on Detroit and see how they're building themselves up. They're still hopeful. And Vitaly Vyzhnovsky, 86 overall, getting paid $4 million for 3 seasons. Would have been a lethal guy defensively. I think it would have been great to keep him. Had 54 points this past season, so, I mean, he's definitely getting up there and doing better. It's just, he's been developing. It's taken him a long time to develop, and that's been a big problem for him. It takes a little bit to develop a goal or a player like him. And we knew that it was going to be a task, but I felt like we needed to kind of move the team along, and Dylan Larkin was that big player that we needed for the Nordiques. So let's continue the simulation here for the Nordiques. As we're looking very good. Let's get the season started. I'm hoping the season goes good. I'm hoping we don't face any problems with the coach. and just overall the team. Because if we have fucking problems with the team, I'm about to rip everyone's face off. Because this team should not be struggling at fucking all. I think we should have one of the best seasons as a team. And look at that, 6-5 and a 9-2 against the Vegas Golden Knights. My lord, we're just kicking booty out there. Big victory against the Toronto Maple Leafs. And then Taylor Hall falls to concussion. Good thing we got some depth players, which I forgot to call up some depth players here because we got probably have a defenseman. Oh, look at Cali Dance, my man. 5 goals. He has a goal per game. That man's a fucking beast for the team right now, man. Playing phenomenally. We need a depth forward up there. Jace Howardluck. We gotta have Jace Howardluck on, man. He's a fucking legend. A fucking legend with all the fans. We know that for goddamn sure. So we will throw Jace Howardluck in that position for right now. I mean, Taylor Hall will be back in no time. But since we have that injury, we will throw Kessel up there. And we'll do Dubé, Perfetta, Kessel, and then Howardluck. Actually, we could throw Kapanen up there. But we get that 1+. So we'll keep that 1+ going on that third line. And then we'll just throw some random centerman there. Ekmar could be perfect for us. And then just move everybody up. Perfect. Now let's continue the simulation here for the Quebec Nordiques. As we're kicking some ass. We're 3-1-1. We're not doing too bad. We're second place in the division, tied up with the Boston Bruins. I mean, it is just the start of the season, so I'm not too worried until it gets later on. But hopefully we keep playing good as a team right now. As look at the fucking Kessel, I just upgraded you up there, buddy. Like I just gave you some more ice time, Phil. So persuade Kessel, you're an old fucking bum, okay? You're not here to fucking. You're here to play good hockey. You're here to play good hockey on any fucking line that I need you to play on. And fucking Dvorak goes down with an injury too. Separated shoulder. Hall, you're injured, you dumbass. You're fucking injured. You're not even fucking out there right now, dude. Fucking sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ, we don't need fucking problems this year. We need to play perfectly well as a team and stop complaining about ice time. This is a team that I built together so we can have a strong year. Fucking Perfetta. Fuck off, dude. I don't give a okay, since he's the young kid, we have to promise him minutes. But you're a fucking dick. Perfetta will throw you up on the top power play unit, and that's really all we'll do for you. Because, I mean, you're just being a fucking dick. That's all you're fucking being is a dick. Like, seriously. Fucking getting some big-time injuries for the Quebec Nordiques now, which is a position we really don't want to be in. But, I mean, that's just the way that it is right now. We're getting some injuries. But why are you complaining about, bro? You're getting fucking first-line minutes, practically. You're getting first-line power play time. Well, fucking, if you want up there, we'll throw you up there as well. Fuck then. And then that's really it. That's all I'm fucking doing for you. That's all I'm doing for you right now. Like, I don't know what to tell you. We have a very deep team this year, boys. Like, you're not going to get the ice time that you usually get. This is a built team. This is a built team for a huge playoff run. That's the way that this team is built. But if you guys don't want to be like that, if you guys want to be pissy and bitchy about that, I'll fucking slap all you motherfuckers upside the fucking head. I won't have any of this shit. I'll ship you off to some shitty fucking team that's rebuilding so you can get your fucking line minutes and not win a fucking cup. How does that sound, you dumb asshole? Because I will play like that. I don't need you guys' bitchy attitudes with me. So Nick Shore, we gotta call up a couple players because we're getting some fucking injuries right now, man. We're really struggling with the fucking injuries right now. We're not getting lucky at fucking all right now, man. Injuries are just plaguing your Quebec Nordiques right now as we lose another big player in Adam Lowry. Fuck, man. This injury plague needs to stop for us because it's honestly hurting the team right now. It really is. Like, we're getting so many injuries right now. Like, fuck. We need to throw in Hunter. Get that bitch ass in there. And then put him alongside a Gunler. Perfect. Let's continue the simulation as we're 10-3-2. Hopefully we could get Taylor Hall back in the lineup from that concussion. And also Christian Dvorak from that separated shoulder. Because we really need those guys back in lineup. I miss them. I miss them a lot right now. So we need to throw Adam Lowry over Nick Shore. And then Nick Shore can replace Lawrence Palat. I don't think he's even playing that bad on that first line. I mean, definitely not the greatest, but not the best, but not the worst. So we'll throw up Nick Shore up on that first line. he can play alongside of those guys. Let's continue that sim here, boys. Outlaws, they're not doing too well. Okay, we'll worry about that once we get to the end of the sim. I mean, we're fucking 10-5-2 right now. We're not having the worst of luck right now as a team. So I think Jace Harlock was Taylor Hall, right? Yeah, that's who it was. So Taylor Hall, you're back in the lineup, good old buddy. You're getting your ass back in there, and Dubé up with Perfetta. Perfect. He's back in the lineup there, boys. Hall is back in the lineup. We need him back up there. Perfetta, since he wants to play, we're going to go with that. And then Huskinen in there, and then there. We'll go with that. Perfect. Let's continue this sim here for the Nordiques as Nielsen. This is actually... Oh, my God, man. Taylor Hall with another fucking concussion. Of course. So Taylor Hall out with more. And this has been our problem with Taylor Hall. I mean, just some years he just has those injury-riddled years. So we're not going to fucking play him at all. We're just going to keep him out of the lineup now. That's just the way that it's going to have to be. We're just going to keep him out of the lineup. And he will not be back until, like, the ending of December. Fuck, man. This has been some bullshit luck for the Nordiques right now with the injuries that we've been having. We've been having a fuck ton to start off the season. I think I'm just going to stop the simulation now and just worry about the lineups later because, my lord, the Nordiques were getting plagued with injuries. We're starting to lose a lot of games, so I think we're just going to stop the simulation now. Fuck, we were built to be ready this season, but we weren't built for injuries as we're scoring a shit ton of goals, but the one thing we're not doing well is defending that puck. Scoring a shit ton, but we're not defending. And that's a big worry for me right now as I really don't want to be kind of dealing with that. And I think we should have picked up a lot more defensive people. I don't think we should have picked up Phil Kessel. I think we should have worried about more defensive players as it just seems like we're not playing good as a team. Dubé, Larkin not doing too bad, Kelly Dance. I mean, we were red hot to start off the season. And then just kind of everything started falling off the face of the earth. Like Taylor Hall, Dvorak's been injured. I mean, we're missing big key players. Hall, big defensive guy. Dvorak, we picked him up just to help us out defensively, and he's out of the lineup. We haven't even really got to see him very much. So we had to figure out what we need to do next for this team and figure out what we need to do because we're having some bad times right now as a team. We're really having some bad times. So we got to figure out this all in the next episode. For right now, guys, I'm going to sign off. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Adios, amigos.